Welcome to the Base Movement School video series. This is the week 5 junior strength program. I'm Jazz.
I'm John.
And I will be coaching John through your session today, so make sure that you follow along. You will need some space, a chair or a bench to sit onto, and a towel. Also make sure you have a drink bottle. Apart from that, let's get started. So for the first exercise we'll be doing is a crab crawl. So we're going to be on the ground here and just moving side to side. Cool. And we're going for 20 seconds. So we want to make sure we keep our bottom off the ground and then moving our arms and legs to the side. Good. Almost there. A few more seconds. Perfect. Okay. We'll hold it there. Now we're going to go into our bear crawl. So we've done these ones before, so we're going to bring them back. So we're on all fours, lifting our knees off the ground, and then walking one leg and one arm forward. So opposite arm to knee. And again, we're going for 20 seconds here. Good. Halfway there. So imagine you've got something on your back and you don't want it to tip over, so you want to try and keep those hips as still as possible. Perfect, cool. Now we're going to have a rest and then we're going to go back to our crab walks that we did before. So we're just supersetting with them. Cool, so lifting our bottom off and then walking side to side. Another 20 seconds here. Good. So you're going nice and slow with this one. Don't try and rush through it too much. Halfway there. And we'll stop there. And now we're going to go into our last set of our bear crawls. So setting up again on all fours, knees off, toes down, opposite arm to opposite leg. Cool. Good. Halfway there, guys. Sit. So again, imagine we've got something on our back. We want to keep those hips as still as possible because we don't want it to fall off. And that will do us. Cool, so now we're going to go on to what is a single leg lateral hop. So we want to find a line on the floor. We're going to start on one leg and then we're going to do 20 over that line. As quick as we can on the balls of our feet. So we want to imagine there's hot coals under your feet. Good, nice and quick. Cool, then once we've done one leg, we're going to swap over and do the other leg, the exact same thing. Get as quick as you can, but make sure you're getting over the line. Go into our depth drops. So for this is where we need our chair, or you can use the couch or a step, or if you have a deck. We're using our box today, but we're going to just taking a step off and then landing in our double leg position. So in our double leg position, what we're looking for, feet underneath our hips, and we want to keep our chest up and put our hips back. We're doing 4 of these. Last one. Cool. Now we're going to go back to our lateral hops. So we're going to start on one leg again and we're doing another 20. Try and get a little bit quicker if you can, a little bit faster. Imagine there's hot coals underneath your feet. Good. Cool. Swapping legs. Good. As quick as we can over the line. Now we're going to go back and do one more set of our depth drops. So same thing, double leg, stepping off. Nice soft landings as well. I want you to imagine be as quiet as you can. Halfway there, guys. And last one. Stepping off, feet under your hips, hips back, chest up. Cool. So now for our last warm-up activity, we're going to be working on our balance. So for this one, we don't need anything, just space on the floor. You're going to start on your left leg, and I want you to not spell out, I want you to count up to 10. So drawing out numbers up to 10. And Good. Try and make each number a little bit bigger than the last one. Trying to make it a little bit harder for you to balance. See it? Good, so up to 10. Cool. Once you've done one leg, hop over to the next leg and do the exact same thing. Try and make the numbers a little bit bigger this time. See it? So just up to 10, try and make them as big as you can so that you are still staying balanced but you're challenging yourself. Perfect, cool. So that is the end of our warm-up. We're now going to get onto our first superset. So our first superset we're going to be working on is our single leg to double leg sit to stand, and then we're also going to be pairing that with a push-up on our knees. So for this one we also need our step. So we're going to be on one leg. We're doing 10, so we're going to slowly lower down on 1, up to 2. Good. So things we're looking for here is we want to watch where that knee's going. So we want it to stay in line with our toe. So we don't want it to come in like that. We want to try and keep it nice and stacked on top of your hip and also your ankle. So we're doing 10 of these. If you want it a little bit trickier, try and go a little bit slower. So you want to try and find a box that is roughly, or a seat or anything roughly about our height of our one. But if not, just make do with what you've got. A chair would be great, dining room chair. Good, so just 10 on each leg. Slowly control all the way down. So you want to avoid just letting yourself fall. We want to control every single second of the lowering. That's it. Cool. So now we're going to go on to our push-ups. We've got 10 push-ups on our knees. So we're setting up our hands under our shoulders, keeping a nice flat back, bending through the elbows and pushing the ground away. If these are way too easy for you, just hop up onto your toes. Cool. So once you've done 10 push-ups, we're going to have a rest if you need, have a drink. Otherwise, we're going to go on to our next superset. Exactly the same thing. Single leg to double leg sit to stand. Good, nice and slow and control on the way down. If you do have some sort of weight at home that you also want to make this a little bit harder, you can use a textbook, or if you have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, you can hold on to it just in front of you like John's doing now. Yep. And then swapping legs. Make sure we're counting out, only doing 10 on each leg. Nice and slow and controlled. And watching that position of the knee. Cool. So now we've done 10 each leg again. We're going to go into our push-ups. So we're doing another 10. Again, either on our knees or our toes. We're going to show you on your knees. So making sure we're keeping that nice flat back. Bending through our elbows and pushing the ground away. So just 10 of these. Nice and slow and controlled. Perfect. So again, once we've done 10, feel free to stop the video, grab a drink and have a break. Otherwise, we're going to go into our next set of our single double leg sit to stand. So another 10 on each leg for the last time through. So make sure we're keeping that nice and slow on the way down, and we're controlling our body weight down to our chair. So it should be the exact same position that you would normally sit on a chair, but just doing it on one leg. So we want to make sure we're getting those hips back, keeping our chest up and watching the position of our knee as well. And then once we've done 10 on one leg, we're going to go and do 10 on the other leg. Last set here. Make sure we control all the way down to our seat. Also, if you don't have anything that you can, isn't this height, you can also stack maybe some books or something on top of it to make it a little bit higher for you if this height is still a little bit tricky for you. Cool. So that's our last set of our single legs, double legs to stands. We're now going to go on to our last set of our push-ups. So setting up again on the floor, hands underneath our shoulders, keeping a nice flat back, and then bending at our elbows. I want you to imagine you're pushing yourself all the way up to the ceiling or pushing the ground away. Get it nice, slow and controlled. Bending at the elbows and just 10 reps. Perfect. So now that was the end of our first superset. Grab a drink, grab a rest if you need. Otherwise, we're going to go into the second superset. So we're going to be doing an arabesque, and we're pairing that with a hinge ITY. So we're going to go on to our arabesques now. So standing on one leg, slight bend in our knee, and I want you to imagine that you're making the letter T. So extending that back leg out. I'm going to do 10 on each leg. If you are struggling to do these, you can hold on to something or hold on to the wall as well to make it a little bit easier for you. So 10 on one leg, 10 on the other leg. It's a slight bend knee, and as you can see, John's extending that back leg out, and he's almost making a letter T as he goes down. So nice, slow and controlled motions. If you are struggling with your balance, also maybe find a spot on the floor to have a look at. It might help you concentrate and help with the balance a little bit. That's it. Almost done. Cool. So now we're going to go on to our ITYs in our hinge position. So we're going to set ourselves up, feet shoulder width apart, hips back, chest up. And we're going to go into our I shape. So our hands go overhead, thumbs up, into our Y shape. So we're making a letter Y, and then into a T. Good. So I, T, and then Y. Good. So when we're doing this, I want you to think about we're squeezing our shoulder blades together like you've got a $50 note. So as you're in between our shoulder blades, so as our arms come up, we're squeezing them together. So now we're going to go on to our next set. So back to our arabesques. Good, standing on one leg, bending that knee slightly, and extending that leg out to make the letter T. Again, if you do struggle with your balance, either hold on to a wall or look at a spot on the floor. Will help. So 10 on one leg, and then back to 10 on the other leg. Noticing how John's popping his leg down in between each rep, just helping him reset after each set, after each rep. getting that balance again, and then starting again after that. Last reps here. Cool. Once we've done that, we're going to go into our next set of our ITYs. So setting up, hips back, chest up, feet under your hips so you can fit a basketball or a netball in between them. And then going through each motion. So I's, good, Y, and T. Good. And again, making sure we're squeezing our shoulder blades back, imagining that we've got that $50 note and we don't want to let go. Perfect. Cool. If you guys do need a break, feel free to pause the video. We're going to go on to our last set of our arabesques now though. So starting on one leg, extending that back leg out and making the letter T. Good, so make sure we're not rushing through any of our reps, taking it nice and slowly, and making a letter T each time. So just 10 on each leg. Cool. Once you've done 10 on one leg, swapping over, last set on this leg. Good, again setting up with our knees slightly bent, extending our back leg out so we make the letter T. Good, last few here guys. Perfect, cool. Now we're going to go into our last exercise for this set, which is our ITYs. So feet shoulder width apart again, hips back, chest up, and going through each of those letters. Again, making sure we're squeezing our shoulder blades back. Imagining we've got that $50 note in between them as our arms come up into each letter. And we're going to go through 3 times through. Once we've done that, that is the end of our second superset, and now we're going to go on to our last superset. So now our third and last superset, we're going to be doing a side plank with a leg lift, and then we're also pairing that with a double leg hamstring slider. So we will need a towel. This is an exercise that we did last week as well, so we also need some sort of slippery floor as well, so we're using our floorboards. But John, we'll start with our side plank with a leg lift. So on our elbow, nice straight line, and then we're just lifting our leg up. We're going to do 10 on each leg. So making sure our hips are all the way up and that leg stays nice and straight. Last few here. And then we're going to swap over, do our other side. So legs nice and straight and lifting that leg up. If you are really struggling being on a straight leg on your toes, you can drop to your knee and then do the exact same thing, bent leg. Perfect. Cool. So now we will need our towel for our double leg hamstring sliders. So we're going to set up in our glute bridge position with our feet on the towel, and we're just going to slowly slide all the way out, hips go down, bring our feet up again into that starting position. So I want you to count to about 4 seconds on the way down. Good, slowly control it, we don't want to be rushing through this, we want to slowly bring those legs out, hips down, and then walk the towel back. Other options, like we said last week, you could just on carpet use some sort of plastic to help make it that slippery, or you can just use socks, whichever works for you. So we're doing 10 reps here. You're making sure our hips are up. Try and keep your hips up the entire time. Just go down. Cool. Once we've done 10, we're going to go back and do our last set of our side planks. Cool. So hips up. And bringing that leg up as high as you can. You want to start with smaller leg lifts And then, but if that's too easy, you can make them bigger. We just want to make sure you're getting 10. Good. Perfect. Last set here. Last 10. But like we did say, if they are too hard, you can drop to that on that knee. Just like this. Keeping that top leg straight, but bottom leg will bend then. Always keeping our hips up though. Perfect. Last exercise we're going to go into, last set as well, of our double leg hamstring sliders. So setting up in that glute bridge position, we want our feet roughly underneath our hips so you can fit a basketball in between them. Hips up, slowly slide our legs out, hips go down, and then walk our feet back. Okay. Last 10 here. And as we can see, John's keeping his hips up the entire time as his legs go out. Good. Last few reps here, guys. Okay, last couple of reps here. Perfect. So that is the end of our video today. We hope you were able to follow along with everything and you had all the right equipment. Otherwise, if you do have any questions, feel free to pop it into the comment section below. Either John or I will get back to you as soon as possible. Make sure you do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, because that's where we're going to be posting notifications about the rest of the video series. But other than that, thank you, and we will see you on Wednesday.